Scorpio Sun, Gemini Rising. My name is Tanya, and I'm going to do a year ahead reading for you. This is going to cover November through October. And I'm pulling one card per month and a card from the bottom of the deck. Some things to note. So with a Scorpio Sun and a Gemini Rising, you may become off. People may see you as someone who is very communicative, possibly even argumentative. Someone who can look at both sides of a situation or speak from both sides of a situation. Mercury would be your chart ruler, which is very much about technology, communication, words, etc. They may see you as someone who's very verbose. And your sun is most likely, not in all cases, but most likely in the 6th house, which is about your like routine, your job, your well-being. Sometimes I think pets are in that house too. So you may be someone who, with your sun there, you may like routine tasks. You may like keeping things on task. You may be like doing a planner. That's what I'm getting for some of you. Very much doing the planning. You enjoy the process of that routine of that. You may be somebody who just in general likes having a routine, likes knowing what's coming next, etc. And you may also have a focus on your health in some way or your well-being in some way, depending on other aspects in your chart. So let's see what the cards say for you. I do tend to read intuitively I don't tend to. Intuition, I read with my intuition first and foremost. And then I do follow it up or look for information in the cards for additional info. Can I repeat myself? Yes, I'm very good at that. I look for information in the cards, for additional details or just other viewpoints, or to see what else might come forward. So let's see what we have here for our Scorpio Sun, Gemini Rising. All right. So it's going to be November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and October. And then from the bottom of the deck we have the Empress. So if I'm looking at these cards, give me a moment. I'm going to look at the overall vibe. It feels to me like in general you already have an event or something planned for next year, and there's going to be a lot of building up to that, and then maybe even sometime after that of the fallout from it, or just the wrapping up of things that occur as a result of that event. That's what I'm getting primarily. I'm going to shift these over a little bit. Just a titch. So with the Empress card here on the bottom of the deck, the Empress card, she's a major arcana card, number 3. And that feels significant for you because 3s can be about community or 3 people involved. So there's some major event. This could be involving a community. It could be a community event, or it could just be involving 3 people specifically. I'm leaning toward that with a few other cards you have here. That it's specific to 3 people, or very few people anyway. For some of you, it's very much a community event though, but a lot of you, it feels like 3 people specifically are involved in this. The Empress is about creation, about nurturing. She is the mother of the deck. Compassion. beauty. She's associated with Venus, so the luxuries in life, the finer things in life, that sensualness, that earthy, earth mother energy. Very much so. So let's see what we have here as we look through each of the cards. We're starting off November here with the Seven of Pentacles. This is a month of evaluation. Where are you at? What's coming up? What do you need to change? If you're looking literally at this picture, it's like, do we need to have more sunlight? How is it growing? Is it growing fast enough? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Do we need to change the soil? Do we need to add water? Do we need to water less? Do we need fertilizer? Do we use too much fertilizer? Do we want to start over from scratch, pull it out by the roots and replant? What do we want to do this month? What's working and what isn't working? Or is everything progressing as it should, and we can just leave it as is and just keep checking it as needed? That's what November feels like for you, is a time of assessment, evaluation. Where are you at right now? Pentacles are about material things, so this could be about your home and work life. The methods you used in order to attain those material things. And then caring also for those things, acquiring them. So this is making sure you're on track, possibly for a major purchase or for this event, the funding for this event, or things that need to be in place for this event that's coming up in the next year. So it could be like a sprint zero is what I want to say. That has to do with planning, and it's a method of like a project management almost type method of working on projects and assigning work and working on things in batches. And sprint zero is the time, I believe, and I may not be correct. Do not come at me if you are an expert in this area. But it's a time where they're doing the assessment, gathering all the pieces, making sure everything is there, identifying what's going to be needed kind of stage. The Nine of Wands for December. So nines are coming to the end of a cycle, coming to the ending of something. Wands are a fire element. So it can be very passionate, movement, action, initiation. In this case, she's standing still, right? Just hanging on to her staff there, which of course has fire on it, so it's helping light her up and keep her warm. She's standing behind a fence made of wands. So she's in kind of a defensive position, but also typically this is someone who looks like they've been wounded, they're exhausted. It's like that final pause at the end of the battle, or a pause just before the final battle, where you're taking time to catch your breath. And that's kind of what December feels like for you, is a time to catch your breath, a time to prepare for what's to come. That's what it is. December for you is going to be preparing yourself mentally, physically, etc. for what's going to be coming up. Yep, that's what feels right for you. And then in January, we have the Three of Pentacles. This is where I saw that other three. And this is three people with very distinct skills coming together to work on a project, to make something beautiful for the community, for themselves. But they're working together as a team. And all of their skills are equally weighted, if you will. Because in order to complete it, they need all three people to work, to do it, to create it, to make it happen. There we go. So this might be in January where you're finding your team, or you're putting together your team, or somehow you're identifying the people that you need to work with. We need someone who can do this. We need someone who has this set of skills. We need a planner. We need someone who's in charge of the budget, and then we need the doer, the person who's going to bring all the people, like the contractor, like the architect, the contractor, and the bank. That type of thing. That's what we have here in January. So a lot of more of that getting your team together month in January. In February, we have the Page of Cups. Kind of appropriate for February. For me, a lot of times, pages are the high school student that's about to graduate and is just about to go into college. They're excited about the future, right? They think they know what they're going to do. They're very focused on it. They're passionate about it. They can't wait to get out of the house and off on their own and explore life and learn whatever it is that they've decided to learn. They can have a very vivid imagination. Cups are about our emotions and our intuition. They could be overcome by their emotions easily because they don't have a lot of experience. They don't have any experience, really, out there in the world on their own. So they may seem dramatic at times as they're starting to explore this and learn what's out there, and they may let their imagination run away with them too. So this may be someone just that you need to nurture here in the month of February, who's coming to you, who may feel distressed or just has very much excited, jittery energy. That's what I'm feeling, jittery energy here in February, where they're a little bit all over the place. This could even be you for whatever reason in this month. Maybe your energy is off for some reason, or maybe you're just very excited about the project and you got all the ideas going on and all your emotions are into it because it's not something you've done before, but you have big expectations. And then those expectations make it dashed. And then you try that. So there might be some mood swings here in February for you, or you're helping someone else out in your family, in your social circle, navigate this first time being out on their own, being exposed to the world in a way that they haven't been before. Okay, and then in March, you find your bearings again, or things get back on track. It feels like if there was going to be a breakdown for you, this is going to be the best month, but the best month for any drama that's not related to your project would be February. In March, you're back on track, and we have the Magician card, another major arcana card. They are the manifestors. They're able to create things, to make things seemingly out of thin air, right? The magician has all the knowledge, all the tools, all the connections needed to make things happen as he wills it. And this feels like you. So you have things coming up. You have your team. It feels like you have your resources. You have a plan. And things have started moving and started creating. You're starting to see the results of your plan. You're starting to see things come into fruition. And you're kind of out there making sure that things are going the way that they're supposed to. You make tweaks, etc., and adjustments as needed. But things start to happen here in March. I don't know if it's like creating little trinkets. It could be getting all the pieces together to put into place when the time comes. That's what that's feeling like. And then we have the Three of Wands. Wands, again, are a fire element. Yep, we've had them before. Another 3 for you. So this could be the 3 of you, this team you've put together before. You're all excited about what's coming, and you can see it coming. You can see, you're able to look out and picture how things are coming together and picture how it will all work. You can see the pieces falling into place. This was someone who is looking out at their goal, at what they want to do, and picturing it and seeing it come in, seeing it come toward them, right? She's waiting for the waves to become right before she jumps in and leaps up to catch that wave. That's you, where you're like, yep, all the parts are coming in now. We have this. You're starting to check things off the list. We're almost there. We got to just have a few more things left to do. Everything's starting to come in now. That's in April for you. Then we come to May. 10 of Pentacles. It's a card that's tens are at the end of a cycle. Pentacles again. The Ten of Pentacles in particular is a card of legacy. Everybody has what they need, right? Everybody has all the resources, all the needs are being met, wants are being met, etc. It's a card of legacy. This, to me, though, feels like all the people now are starting to come in. Maybe the invitations are going out or the RSVPs are coming in. People are responding, you're getting the head count, all of that. All of this is coming together. The family is aware of it. Friends are aware of it. Everyone's involved. Everybody's excited. Everybody's looking forward to this event that's coming up. Excitement is building here in May. That's what this feels like for me, for you. And then we have June. This is where the party is. This is where the event is. The Four of Wands. It's a celebration. It's a card of union, community. It's also, actually, fours are about foundation, right? Think of 4 legs of a chair, 4 legs of a table. And this is Wands, which is a fire element. So it is active, dancing, partying, physical movement. And we have the tent here. Four of Wands in particular is normally, it's like, it almost looks like a wedding procession. So this could be a wedding. It could be a graduation celebration. It could be some sort of major celebration or just a major event, celebratory event that you're managing or that you have put together and brought all these people together. And so this means it's successful. This is when it's happening and everything is working out exactly as you planned it. And it's a beautiful thing. So a highly successful event in June. Yes, very good. And then we come up to July with the 5 of Swords. So the event is over. Now you're breaking things down, finalizing bills, etc. Starting to do the wind down process. And it feels like this takes a month or two, but the wind down process here. With the 5 of Swords, swords are about communication. They're about knowledge, about our thoughts. And 5s can be about challenges, about conflict. So it could be that there is a dispute now with one of the people that were on the team, or a dispute with someone that the event was for. And you can't figure out how to solve it. You're not sure what to do, or you're getting in your head. You have everybody, these people coming in and trying to influence you and force you to make a decision in their favor. Everybody wants it to work out their way, right? In this case, though, you have to look back at any planning you did and the documentation you did and you had, because you were very thorough up here in this pre-planning stage. And maybe that's something to make sure you're doing here as part of this in these 2 months as you're preparing. Maybe that's what December is for. Make sure you have contingency plans in place. Make sure your contracts and stuff are very clear up front, and make sure they're signed and dated and people have agreed to them. And that will help here when it comes to July. So you're going to want to make sure you look at the communication that was had. Make sure as you're going through this process too, you also stick to those contracts. And don't accidentally put in an email that, yeah, they can skip that part of it, or don't ignore that part of it. You want to, if a change needs to come up in a contract, make sure both parties agree, sign off on it again, create a new contract, an addendum, whatever you want to call it, to that contract at that time. Stay on top of that type of stuff as you're going through. So you want to make sure the people who are upset or think that they were, cheated in some way or didn't get exactly what they wanted. Some of this is petty. It feels petty, like petty little things, but they're going to niggle at you until they get an answer or they get you to give in. You need to go back at them with the hard facts. With this was the communication. This is what you agreed to. This is your signature. So this is the answer. and not be influenced by their emotions, etc. Stay firm in that. Stand your ground. And then we come up here to, that was July, August. 10 of Swords. Whew, that'll be done. That conflict will be resolved. It's going to start here in July. It won't be resolved until August, but it's going to be a rough one. There's going to be some friends you thought you had, you may lose. It's going to feel a little bit like some backstabbing in the traditional sense of the card that you would see here. But once it's done, and it's over, and you don't have to deal with it anymore, and you're free to move on from it. So here is your warning now. Make sure you're following the contracts and sticking to the contracts. And if you want to change something or say, oh, okay, no, you don't have to do that. No, whatever's on paper is what you're locked into. If you want to change it, make a change specifically to that document. Keep that in mind as you're going throughout the year. So everybody's clear on where everything stands to make your life easier down the road. But it's this sense of freedom now, it's coming to an end. It did not end necessarily smoothly, right? Some people are maybe walking away angry, and that's fine. It's not your problem anymore because it's done and over. And you are free to move on. That part is over and done. So it's a quick thing. It might feel very intense while it's going on here in July and August. But it will be resolved, it'll be done, it'll be over, and you can move on. And then we move to, that's funny, to the wheel, which is another major arcana card. And what is the wheel? It's about evolution. It's about change. It's always moving. If you're going down, it's going smooth and easy, and then you have to come up the backside, and it gets a little harder and tougher, and you got to push more. Try to get the momentum going as fast as you can to the front to help get you through the back end, you know? Whoosh, whoosh type of thing. This is you, though, looking forward to that change. Being on top of the change. So you're ready for it. You're ready for the next thing now. You learned a lot in this last event, but it was a very successful event. In spite of the few people causing problems here, it was a very successful event. And you're looking forward to it. So there's some change or something, maybe even something you promised yourself you would change at the beginning of this, or maybe even prior to November, once you got through this. And you're through it, so it's the time to make that change. You have the freedom now, you have the time to go forward with whatever change you were thinking about. Maybe even kind of thinking about here in December again. It's time here in September to put that into action, to make those changes. And then we come to October with the Star. This is about self-care, about taking care of your needs, taking a break, seeking your star, right? Pulling that energy down into you, just taking the time. It could be to be alone, but take a vacation is what I would suggest for you. You've had a very busy year in all of this with a lot of activity going on, a lot of action going on. You did it. You succeeded. You can reward yourself. You do deserve a reward. You do deserve time off. You deserve a break. And you're fabulous. Because now your star is out there. Now you're going to have this, people are going to know you. They're going to see you. So make sure you stay connected, but at the same time, make sure to those resources, make sure you nurture those resources too, those connections. That's what wants to come through. Make sure you are nurturing those connections. So stay in touch. I don't know if that means having a mailing list or making sure they're connected through social media in some way, but make sure you're staying connected and you have those leads, literal leads, okay? Follow those leads. But don't forget at the same time to stay grounded and take some time for yourself. Don't start planning anything. It might be okay to explore them, but this is a month to kind of relax, take a step back a little bit. And then you may start over where you're assessing the leads and determining what you want to do next. Maybe that's even what this November is. Well, what project do I want to work on? What's out there? So many different possibilities. Which one do I want to take? A little bit of that. That would be more of a Seven of Cups moment, but that's what it feels like. So maybe this has been like one major event for you this year, coming to a very successful conclusion, maybe with a little bit of legal battles at the end. But again, make sure all your contracts are clear, concise, and that you also stick to them. Or make sure they're formally modified if there are changes needed. And then it'll lead to more connections, more leads, more possibilities for you. By October of next year, you'll be ready to go again in November of next year. That is what I have for you. Please hit the like button and please subscribe and help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching Scorpio Sun, Gemini Rising, and I'll talk to you later.